Welcome back to another Stock Market Open Live. We got jobless claims coming in 22K above all estimates at 231,000. This is the first time we've seen those job numbers coming in above all estimates. So not great from the POV of keeping these rates higher for longer in terms of avoiding a recession. Once those job numbers really start ticking up, it's really hard to contain the runaway pain that comes with some of those increasing jobless claims. So hopefully this is just as the Bank of England said this morning, lumpy data. In fact, that was a big thing. The Bank of England just reported that, hey, we're going to keep rates stable, but we may end up cutting faster than expected because, the data is always going to go up and down. Honestly, I think these central banks are starting to get to this point of like, oh crap. That's my take. They're frankly getting to oh crap. We are starting to see the cracks. We're praying inflation starts stabilizing because the signs of these lagged effects of higher rates are becoming more and more clear. So we'll see. But it's worth noting that the survey or the actual jobless claims came in at 231,000 versus the 212 expected. That is above all estimates. Let me see if we had a revision. The prior was only revised up 1K. Prior revised up 1K to 209K. So the revision relatively nominal there. Continuing claims only came in 4K more than expected. Continuing claims versus 1782 expected, and revisions there were actually down 6K with minus 6K in revisions. Okay, so in terms of data, that's it. This is a pretty sparse week. Tomorrow we'll get U of M sentiment. Let's take a look at the 210s as well, just to see how the 210s are doing. Let's see here. 210s. Now we're still basically at the same level of inversion. So let's look at this. Inversion. Let's call it inversion, break-evens, and yields. So inversion's negative 33 basis points on 210 inversion. Okay. Then let's go 5-year break-even. Let's see, if I remember correctly, we were last at like 235, 233 or something like that. We're at 234. All right, 234 on 5-year break even. And then how about the odds of a rate cut after this claims number? Ooh, this might take 15 minutes or so to update. But yeah, it looks like we're pricing in about 176. 1.76 rate cuts priced in this year. So that's a little bit larger than that like 169 we've noticed previously. So on top of that, we had ARM earnings that honestly, I was really impressed with them. Like I think the market's really funny where we get some of these AI numbers, and the numbers honestly in AI have just been really good. The Amazons, the Microsofts, all of these numbers have been really good. Where you're getting smashed is in the consumer disc. So that's like your Etsy or Starbucks or, maybe to some extent Uber. But then again, Uber blames some of their one-time write-downs there. But I don't really see so horribly much pain there, but in the AI space. But market don't care about that because the market wants you to beat its crazy wild expectations. So that's okay. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. And by crumbling, I mean falling under $100 here by sitting at 99.24. Somebody, you just noticed the Needler in the background. Nice. Yeah, the Needler. I love this thing. What I really ought to do is turn the light on for it. Have this thing's freaking sick. Let's see here. There we go. So now you can see some of the needle lights are on this. I love this thing. So let's see if I can turn it on the shooting mode. Oh, my battery's too low. Nah, too low. You know, I think that's a downside when you use it as a prop, and you go in here and you turn the light on, and then you just sort of leave it on forever. That might end up draining the battery. But yeah, this is like a fully functioning Nerf gun. I kind of like this thing. In fact, I think did I make a link for it? metkevin.com/needler. I did! metkevin.com/needler. Affiliated product. It's the only thing I've ever seen on Amazon that has a near 5-star review. And it's actually like $40 cheaper than what it used to be. So help your brother out and use metkevin.com/needler. So, here we go. Just leave that right there. Kind of cool. So, there's the arm pump. You set a good example of a man-child for your children. Suck it, JC. Let's see here. When you buying Robinhood stock? Honestly, those Robinhood numbers were really amazing. Really, really good numbers. I was very impressed with that. I haven't gone through their earnings call yet, but very, very good numbers. Let me also check on Roblox here. Oh my god. Wait, dude. It's the line. Holy shit. Look at the lines again. I don't even know what the hell the purple line is. But why is it when I go to these freaking stocks and then they crash 27%? Where do they go? They go to one of Meet Kevin's lines. It's always one of Meet Kevin's lines. I swear, people are going to think that, like, when these lines happen, that, like, they're just like, you know, like, I see it happen and then I draw them really quickly to show them to you. It's just, it's like, I haven't drawn lines on Roblox in probably a year. This is freaking crazy. Holy smokes, dude. Wow, almost perfectly. My line was at 26.59 and it wicked down to 26.80. That's crazy. I think, you know, what I have noticed, which sort of matches what's going on at Robinhood, the amount of interest in trading stocks has skyrocketed. Like, the number of people who are existing course members for our do-it-yourself property management, our efficiency and AI course, that's the gold course, you know, the YouTube course, agent sales course, the real estate course, whatever. The amount of people who are emailing us from those courses that are like, Kevin, like, help us get into the stocks and psych course. Can we bundle up? We've been a member for X number of years. We want to bundle up. They email us at staff@meetkevin.com. The amount of emails I'm seeing on that is massive compared to what it used to be. So I don't know if it's the lines, and people are like, Kevin, we want to see the lines, and we want to live trade with you or whatever. Like yesterday, we were live trading. Profitable live trade yesterday. That was fun. But anyway, that was, to me, I guess I could have had like my own little indicator for what Robinhood earnings could have been. But when I mean, you know, now looking at it, when I see Robinhood earnings, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of like what we're feeling as well. So it's interesting. The interest in stocks going back up again. Robinhood's up 7%. Honestly, it's a bargain compared to how good those numbers were. So they really killed it and knocked it out of the park on that one. I was really impressed with that. Now, I do want to see what's going on with... let's see here. With Roblox. So let's find out here. Roblox. Oh, I gotta show this. This was cool. This is just, where is it? Okay, while I pull up Roblox. Yesterday, I see Max. He went on some field trip or whatever, and they sent us this little video clip of him at the field trip. And I grabbed a still frame of him because I guess he was done riding the little cart the other kids were in. And so rather than like being normal and saying, hey, can you like stop so I could get out of the cart? The guy's like, see ya. Anyway, meet Max. He's 6. That's crazy. Okay. So, all right, let's take a look at what's going on with Robe of the Lux. All right. All right. Okay. Q2 missed. So, Q2 Guide of 885 million versus 9025 mil expected. That's a miss of about 2%. About a 2% miss. How do you drop 27% on a 2% miss? That's freaking crazy. Anyway. Let's see here. Q1 bookings beat. Okay. It's always the guide. Q1 revenue beat by a lot. Beat 801.3 million versus the, sorry, hold on here. Q1 revenue. Oh, yeah, okay. Versus the 769.3 mil expected. So Q1 beat 769.3. They beat by 4.1%. 4.1% beat. So Q1 beats by about 4%, but the guide smashes them. And then it looks like there's also a fiscal year miss. Hold on a sec. So fiscal year rev no, the fiscal year guide is actually well, yeah, no, the bookings are missed. Fiscal year bookings guide. Okay, that could be why. Fiscal year bookings guide, 405 billion, 4.05 billion. Expected was, let's see, that's 14.7, 421 billion. So you missed on that one. 405 divided by 421. Yeah, that's about a 3.8% miss. So it's really that outlook that whacked them there. Oh, ooh, and the Q1 engagement missed. Yeah, probably because parents are finally waking up to the kids spending too much money on the Roblox. See how I add the to make it seem like I'm older? Anyway, it's like, I gotta go on the YouTube to trade the crypto. Anyway, yeah, us personally, we really have to limit how much they play Roblox. They turn into like little devils if they're on it too much. Anyway, so hours engaged, Q1 hours engaged comes in at 16.7 billion hours. My gosh, versus the expected 17.05 billion. And then active users, daily active users were 77.7 million. So if I divide that out, okay, so 16.7 billion. Oh boy, I have to throw some commas in there just to be able to see this. There, 16.7 billion divided by 77.7 million. That's an average of, no, that can't be right. Did I do that math right? 16.7 billion. Yeah, 16.7 billion hours engaged in Q1. And there were 77.7 million active users. In a quarter, that works out to 214 hours. In a quarter. That's crazy. That's 214 hours in a quarter on average per user, or 2.338 hours per day. I guess that makes sense. 2.5 hours per day on average. That makes sense. Okay. All right. It just seems so wild and high. Anyway, let's listen in over here for a moment.
Streaming wars and the lack of money that's being spent or allocated, or how all of these big companies are now looking at streaming differently to figure out how to make it make sense. And that plays into the NBA rights. We've got
There we go. That was a good transition.
Good segue.
Well done, Becky.
Well, it clicked in my brain at that moment.
Right.
The reason Wall Street no longer looks at this and says you can spend to the sky is because they want to see some return on these things. We're no longer willing to fund it with free dollars. So now you have the battle playing out for the NBA rights. It matters as a partial owner to the Celtics.
Right.
What do you think should happen here? Who do you want to see win this bid? What makes sense?
As I don't have a dog in the hunt. I think having the best price with a
Don't care about you, Monopoly man with best price. Don't they look like Monopoly man?
I think it's perfect timing because.
Well, let's go see.
companies and industries have problems
Yeah,
when
dude.
2 or 3 things come together, not just one thing. So we have.
He just needs his top hat. He needs top hat, and then he needs to go to a monocle. See, that's all we're missing. That's Monopoly man. Look at that. He's got the mustache. You know, you just sort of Google Monopoly man here. See the single. Look, put a top hat on that guy and a monocle. Monopoly man. As he's talking about price. Okay.
Work, and that's kind of what they're betting on here.
What about the math of how it works for the company, Geetha? We learned that Warner Bros. Discovery wants to cut costs, wants to raise some of its subscription prices. What happens then if you need to offer a bundle and need to price it competitively to be the super bundle?
Yeah, I think they will. So this partnership here is a little bit different from what these companies have been pursuing. So what we've seen across up until this point has really been bundles more with the telecom providers. So we know like
People are bundling courses. Staff at mekevin.com.
you know, Verizon was offering kind of the bundle with Max and Netflix. Multiple telcos, you know, you had T-Mobile with Netflix. You know, there's obviously a revenue share agreement here. Obviously, what these companies are trying to do is by doing it themselves without a telco partnership, they're obviously trying to keep more of that profit for themselves. But yes, ultimately, it is going to come down to cutting costs. And this helps them to kind of really cut down on marketing costs. Because if you look at just marketing costs for all of the streaming subscription services, apart from content, marketing and selling expenses are actually one of their biggest cost centers. So this really helps them with that when they kind of pool their resources together.
And that's actually a perfect segue into the question that I wanted to ask. We've talked about subscribers, we've talked about price, we've talked about costs, but content is king in this space. And so how competitive do you think this bundled content will be relative to the other folks that are in the market?
I think that's absolutely what they're betting on. You know, Disney obviously has its own appeal with younger children. HBO Max, as you know, is prestige TV. They're really kind of, and then Hulu right now is kind of getting into more edgy entertainment. And then with Max, remember, you have a whole bunch of movies that are going to come on the service, as with Disney Plus, you know, once they release in theaters. And so that's really kind of what they're betting on here. I mean, you have two superpowers in terms of content IP, in terms of storied brands. And so they're really kind of betting on getting you know, those brands together and appealing to a much broader section of the audience.
Geetha, this was great. It's always great to catch up with you. Geetha Ranganathan there, Bloomberg Intelligence, on the latest streaming effort, trying to get our hands around just how strong this consumer is. I want to go back over.
Not very. Have you read the Etsy report? I just posted the other, the Meet Kevin report for this morning, and you should see what I talk about in there regarding Etsy. Let's just say small PP, inverse PP. Small, tiny PP. Very small. They dream of bigger PP. If only they can get their pricing power up. All right. So, yeah, yesterday on, you know, we've last couple days in a row, we've sort of been doing earnings and chatting pod style on this channel right after the bell. And yesterday we were sort of evaluating for the second day in a row, you know, how Warren Buffett is going to deploy some of that cash. He also is looking for stronger PP. All right, so let's take a peek here at BT Sizzle. Something that I've been paying attention to is BTC. Unfortunately, it's under the 61.7 line, and I don't love this. 61.7 is a big deal to me. If you go to the 5-minute chart here, so yesterday we talked about this live yesterday morning and how breaking it is sort of a bad omen. So we had a bounce at 61.7, then we broke through, but look at the rejections. Reject, 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 reject. We're about to get rejected again. Ooh, thank you for the A 99 cents. But 61.7 here on BTC, not great, because if we keep getting rejected, the downtrend is likely to continue, at least in the short term, which is not fantastic. Would like to see some more enthusiasm here, but it's not really coming. Maybe that's in the face of Roblox here just getting absolutely smashed. I mean, people are obviously still spending money like crazy over here. So I'm surprised at some of the pain here. Focusing resources into advertising, AI. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more on this Roblox investor relations page. Let's dive into a bit. But yeah, seeing crypto, bro, have a little softness here. Maybe is just a sign of less sort of enthusiasm around investing in just risk assets in general right now. Seems to be more trading going on than investing. I'm one of those people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. But anyway, our teams have been working hard at identifying opportunities to drive daily active users, hours, and bookings growth rates back to 20% a year. We've begun implementing changes to our AI discovery algorithm. Okay, see, to me that's always a red flag. So let's write that down. When a company is like, hey, we want to get back to the glory days, it just reminds me of Beyond Meat. We want to get back, what is it? They want to, we want to get back to bookings growth. Oh, there we go. Back to bookings growth rate. We want to get bookings growth rates back to 20% year over year. Okay. Daily active. Oh, that includes the daily active users. Oh, they want all of them to be growing at 20% a year. So obviously we're not there now. See, hours engaged were up 15%. 15% year over year. Unique players were up 30%. Or sorry, 13%. Year over year. Okay. And in order to do so, they're gonna rely on the AI. Hoping AI changes will help them. Yeah, good luck with that. That always makes me nervous. I like to say that too, because, you know, when a company's trying something they haven't really tried before, it'll either work or it won't. And that gives, it's kind of like when a stock is consolidating, it's like, it's either going to go up or down. That's like a 50-50 shot. Then you're just gambling. Like, I want to play the lines because then I have a greater chance of winning. So, I personally don't like that they're now guessing with AI to figure out how to grow again. Reminds me of Beyond Meat. Let's just say they memed out. Actually, you could see that here. Watch this. Trends.google.com. Beyond Meat. Go like the last period of time. Here, let's go last 5 years. Because the last 5 years is really when the trend peaked. And you could throw in food company if you want. It doesn't make much of a difference. So clearly, a little bit of a bleed out there on Beyond Meat. I wonder if Roblox is seeing any of that. I doubt that. It's because you got a big player base here. Oh, yeah, it's somewhat stabilizing. You're certainly not seeing that growth anymore. That's very interesting. So if we overlay the two, I actually did not suspect that. Yeah, I can't even compare the two. But that is interesting. You got that stabilizing going on. All right. So what else? And how's that stock moving right now? Yeah, stock's moving. I mean, it's moving off the... I cannot believe that this line that's like years old is in play. So whatever led us to draw it, you know, back in my day, is pretty remarkable. Okay, so what else here? We reintroduce specific gains. We're trying to operate more efficiently. This is just a way of trying to pump the bottom line. The Roblox search trend stagnating. Not great. Okay. What else here? Finally, we no longer refer to whatever. This is just talking about their EBIT. This was their guide, which we kind of already reviewed. some accounting adjustments, whatever. I don't actually see them as having... Let's see here. Current liabilities. Oh, wow. Actually surprised they have more current liabilities. Oh, well, that's deferred revenue. Oh, that's fine. So even if I say 600, call that 600. They've got plenty of cash for the year. That's not a spread. They should be well cash flow positive. Yeah, I mean you're almost 200 million in free cash flow. So good for them. I mean they're not going anywhere. It's not like they're, you know, some BK risk or whatever. Okay, let's write that down. So roughly 200 mil free cash flow. A little BK risk here. Okay. That's Roblox for you. So, Trade Desk, they had their earnings yesterday. Only moved by about 2.5%. Pretty benign mover here. BTC still can't keep it moving here. Chasing short squeezes like Roblox. Yep. Yeah. Go watch Peter Schiff Bitcoin debate. Why? I've been at Peter Schiff's house twice. There's a limit. Like, I have sat at the dinner table with my boy Peter Schiff and his son debating Bitcoin. Am I really enthused to spend 2 hours watching two people debate gold and Bitcoin? No. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So where were we? So you buying gold? I don't have any exposure to gold other than there's a tiny little macro hedge to the gold miner, Barrick Gold, but actual gold itself, nope. I'm not here to poop on metals. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's just it hasn't been my thing. Commodities. Except for uranium. Where's Steve? Usually when I talk rocks, he spawns in. Oh, look, Tesla's actually green in the pre-market. That's wild. Yeah, dropping under the 174 was not great yesterday. So we were riding that until after market. So we'll get to play these two lines again today, probably. And look at that. You get the surge as soon as you get the breakout here. Perfectly to the 175 line. The lines work. Trust the lines. Every time I trade not respecting the lines, I get burned. When I trade with the lines, I win more often. So the lines are great. All right, what are the cues today? What trend are we going to get today? We got 27 minutes to go. Okay. Q's positive by 12 bips. ARM recovering over here. Robinhood capping out a little. Apple flattish. How did they do yesterday? Oh, okay. Up 19 bips yesterday after the iPad event. You know, everybody's freaking out about like, oh, the next iPad's lighter or whatever and thinner. And I'm like, are you smoking dope? Like, it's a 15% weight difference. This thing, they're like, oh, it's only 582 grams or whatever. And I'm like, bro, this is like 680 grams. Assuming this was a big one. This is not actually a big one. But the iPad Pro 12.9 model or whatever. I have a lot of them. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I don't know. It's I was looking for more out of it. Let's just say, I get it. You know, 4x on the graphics, 50% faster compute. But it's also pricey. You know, I was looking at it. Let's go do it together. Apple.com. So you go into here, you get the 13-inch model, and you really have to like restrict yourself on the size. Because look at this. I've never seen this before. If you take all of the options on this, every option possible, if you take just all of them, okay, with the exception of the accessories, you're looking at $2,600. That's some big peepee right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we're gonna buy it, right? Anyway. All right. Okay, let's go in over here.
The euro and the yen inverted there, have been dropping because the Fed's been raising rates, and you get more money and more interest in the United States than other places. We saw that today. Bank of England on hold, but everybody thinks they might cut, so the pound goes down. And at this point, this is a problem for those countries, but it also starts to be a problem for us. If we continue to have problems selling exports overseas, it's going to hurt the manufacturing numbers that we might have seen a little bit of in the ISM last week.
Nobody wants to challenge that strong dollar policy, do they, Mike? Let's see until it bites in the proverbial. Now, you mentioned the Bank of England, Mike, so it's worth just checking in some of those cross assets this morning. You've got sterling back to flat 124.95. The Bank of England Governor Bailey, who we'll sit down with a little bit later on, he's optimistic that things are moving in the right direction. A rate cut in June is neither ruled or planned. And there was a bit of a shift. The Deputy Governor inside the Bank of England moves and joins the external member, calling for an immediate cut. So the narrative is building on that. Euro slightly better bid against sterling, and 10-year yields flat at the moment, but a great deal of the dovishness was already in the price. Katie Kaminsky and Colin Martin are my guests this morning. To the global aspect of this, there's the Bank of England sounding more dovish. The Riksbank cut. The ECB are presumed to cut earlier. We are moving towards a global rate resetting narrative, Katie. How important is that for overall growth momentum to sustain? Because it does all feed back and wash back into the US at some stage.
Yes, and I mean, I think it's important you bring this up. And if you look at those economies that have already started to push more towards cuts, they're seeing less growth than what we're seeing in the US. And that's why there's definitely a much more tricky picture, and it might take a little bit longer for the US to be able to cut rates. The market wants it. I think the Fed wants it. But in general, the data hasn't shown yet. We also point out, if you look at countries like the UK and Sweden, example, they have a lot of floating rate mortgages. So they have definitely seen a bigger impact in their housing sector than we have seen in the US. So I think there's just differences across these countries where, in terms of how quickly they're going to be able to normalize rates.
Look, absolutely. And the argument is here in the United States, everybody, not everybody, but a great many people went through the remortgaging process at those lower rates. Colin, you know, the Fed could be the last central bank standing, the last hawk stand.
Yeah, and that keeps the dollar higher relative, so more FX impact, but that's true.
On treasury bonds, on treasury against other government bonds, and also for the dollar as well.
Yeah, that's right. If we look at the global bond landscape, the gap between U.S. yields and global bond yields has rewidened recently, and I think that's one thing that could keep a lid on our yields should we get some upside economic surprises where there might be some foreign buying, especially if we get closer to those 5% levels on intermediate and long-term bonds. I think that's a psychological level that a lot of investors are interested in. So I think that's important. Going back to your comments about the dollar has been strong. We saw it drop a little bit this morning with the initial jobless claims number, but there can be benefits to that in terms of inflation, where it does negatively impact exports, but it can positively impact imports. And we know that we're trying to bring inflation down, and the stronger dollar can help that to a degree in terms of import prices.
Colin, just before we move on, what is it that retests 5% in the 10-year government bond yields? Because we've had, as I say...
Oh, you'd have to have bad CPI data.
...word at the moment. But what is it that spooks me back to 5% on 10s?
Well, I want to make it clear, it doesn't spook us. We don't think it's happening. But what could happen if the economy were to not just remain as resilient as it is, but really reaccelerate, and then we'd likely need to see a reacceleration in inflation, even just modestly, which would reprice expectations for the Fed to not just be a higher for longer policy, but actually start to see more rate hikes coming down the pipeline. Doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, unlikely. Same thesis though. Okay, let's look at here for a moment. I'm just looking at the Robinhood earnings call, and I have to say this is really incredible. So look at this. they have an annualized recurring subscription rate of approaching $100 million. So in other words, you wake up Jan 1, you basically already have nearly $100 million expected to come in due to the gold subscription tier at Robinhood, which is really, really incredible. Now, I suppose I should also look at their financials because I know they spend money like crazy. Robinhood, investor relations. But I really like what they do with their app. And I've always been, I don't use it, but I'm a big fan of them. Let's go in over here. So, total net revenues, $618 million. Their operating expenses, $460. Look at that. That's profit, baby. 18 cents a profit per share. That's pretty good. You're straight into net income here. And look at how they crush their G&A spend. They crushed their G&A spend 82%. Vlad just went in there and impaled the staff. Whew! Vlad, the impaler of employees.
And yet, without sort of putting you into the box of talking about specifics, I look at overnight what has happened with Airbnb. That's consumer. Uber, that's also pressure. Disney, subscriber numbers, parks were resilient. But at Starbucks, at McDonald's, there are, if you underwhelm, if you underperform, if you underdeliver, you really are getting a pretty big pressure pushback from the market, aren't you, Katie?
Yes, I would agree. If the consumer starts to waver even more, that would definitely be something to be concerned about. That would eventually trickle into growth and will affect companies.
Well, that is what we're seeing at companies like Etsy and Shopify, now even Roblox. So, you might start seeing those cracks.
Something that might be pro rate cuts sooner. So I think it's bad news is good news on the consumer side, but hopefully we don't have that.
We're always trying to sort of find out where the next risk is, whether it's systemic or idiosyncratic. I'm just wondering, we wrote the big take, not me, but the team here at Bloomberg, and it was about the phantom debt, the buy now, pay later. And anybody who's lived through 2008 on the mortgage crisis, anybody who's lived through 2000 in terms of the dot-com bust. Colin, what did you make of the buy now, pay later? The Fed doesn't seem to be too worried about private credit and those kind of areas, but buy now, pay later, some of the numbers are quite chunky.
Yeah, I saw that article yesterday. And what I guess makes me a little bit nervous is that we don't have a full picture of what's going on underneath the surface. So if it is, in fact, a really large amount of debt that's out there that we're not seeing in terms of what consumer credit looks like, then that would be a risk. What I think is a good thing, if we look at the data that is available, we did get consumer credit earlier this week, and it rose at a pretty small amount, especially with credit cards and that type of revolving debt. And I think that's a good thing, because if we look at what's been powering the economy lately, the consumer remains strong, consumption remains strong. But if we do see a slowdown in credit,
now, what do you mean if we do see a slowdown? You're already starting to see it, man. You just got to open up your eyes and pay attention. How many earnings calls have you read this last week? My guess is 0. How many earnings calls have I read in the last 2 minutes? The answer is 1. Because I've been reading it just now. Anyway, somebody here in the chat is asking about the Airbnb lines. These are where I have my Airbnb lines. And so for me, this 147.25 line is really in play today. Are you going to break that 147 line and actually get some buy the dip-ins? And is this going to recover into the open? Or if you get rejected here, you could be going right back to 139. We'll see what happens over here. The only thing to save this collapsing financial system, Farmer, I was thinking about you yesterday, because Lauren's like, I want to buy a lot of lemons. And I'm like, what do you mean? You want like a bucket of lemons? You want to make lemonade? She's like, no, I want to buy this lot of land that has a bunch of lemon trees on it. I go, that's very different than what I first thought. But anyway, I'm like, I don't know anything about lots or lemons. I'd have to talk to a farmer. Here you go. But anyway, I think the only thing to save this collapsing financial system would be keeping rates at this rate for 10 years and stop the government overspending. Yeah, then you force a recession, squeeze out all the froth and the waste, and then sort of try to... I mean, you've been listening to Peter Schiff, haven't you? Like, you must let the pain happen so everything can normalize. I mean, that's how you kill zombie companies. That's how you kill bad business ideas. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It hurts people, right? Because you lose jobs and that becomes painful. How does this week's earnings season compare with the start of the season? Worse. Yeah, definitely. It's worse because it's showing you more pain on the consumer discretionary side. Well, what about going short Salesforce? I don't know. You know, I don't know that. I mean, they haven't moved too high lately, have they? Oh, maybe they have. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to them much. Oh, no, they have. Oh, I haven't paid attention to them in a long time. Oh, look at that. I mean, look at the fibbies again. You can't make up the lines. You can't make this up. Look at that. Almost a perfect rejection right here on the week chart. And then where does it go? Right to the next line. Trust the lines. Can't help you with lemons. I'm more of a corn and wheat type of guy. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So where are we? The Q's being boring. Oh, man. Need entertainment. I want to be entertained. I'll just go visit Ben Mala. You know what you need to be entertained? 2 coffees. Because one old coffee, because they're both coffees, is better than, just one new one alone. So this is going to be cold and nasty. Tastes like stale pool water. That's really bad. That's gross. Now I'm gonna get a parasite in my brain. Ay. Who's that guy who sent that tweet about the hole in Kennedy's brain? That was crazy. Yeah. You either die a Kennedy with a hole in the brain, or you live long enough to become a Kennedy with a hole in the brain. This is Mike Collins, proudly serving Georgia. All right, very interesting. So anyway, let's go to CNB Sizzle.
House, which we've recreated, the Prince Purple Rain House. And what this gym really represents, I think, is the beginning of the next chapter of Airbnb. Because we've been known for stays, but now Airbnb is starting to move into experiences. And we're starting with just, 4,000 people can do these this year, whether you want to stay at the Ferrari Museum or the X Mansion, which is completely recreated like you're stepping into a comic. But eventually, what we want to do is be able to bring the magic of icons to millions of people around the world. And I think there's just a sense of where we're going as a company.
Well, I think that's really important because there are people obviously who want to focus on something that does matter because you own obviously you're have a company with a stock, and that next quarter it does seem you did say things could be a little lighter, and there is a concern, whether it be from, if we listen to Expedia, we listen to Hyatt, the RevPAR, we listen to Marriott, we do get a sense that travel has slowed, and I don't know whether to lump you into that, particularly American travel, or just say, listen, you've got to see through this little valley because we've got a brand new Airbnb that's very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Jim, as you and I used to talk before we went public, we were basically break even when we went public. And the big question was, would we ever be a profitable company? And in 3 years, we made so much progress focusing on this, and now we have 41% free cash flow margin. So today, we are now at the beginning of this next step. And the question is, what's next for Airbnb? And the answer is there's going to be a lot more coming over the next couple of years. New products, new services, and I'm very confident that we can re-accelerate growth.
Well, I want to talk about icons again, because one of the things that I now find to be, let's say, incredibly important is before I start my travel trip, I have to go to icons to see if there is something.
All right, hold on. This is boring. So I'm going to go to something more entertaining. And what's more entertaining than good old Tesla FUD? Kevin must be showing Tesla again. Good Lord. People have a problem with facts. All right. So, Rich Auto. Dude, I want that name. Head of product launches at Tesla is leaving the company after 7 years following the firing of the entire supercharger team, which negatively impacted morale. No duh. I mean, my morale would be in the toilet if the company was getting gutted, especially when you're getting Biden bucks for the superchargers and you're still firing people at the supercharger team. After nearly 7 years, last week I resigned from Tesla. Why leave? It's a company I love that has given me so much, but it's taken its pound of flesh. Great companies are made up of equal parts of great people and great products, and the great products are only possible when people are thriving. The recent layoffs that are rocking the company and its morale have thrown this harmony out of balance, and it's hard to see the long game. It was time for a change. That's bad. When the head of product launches, which should be there with, like, robo-taxis, frankly, when the head of product launches is like, peace, bitches! That's bad. Goodness gracious. What makes Tesla special is collaborate with anyone culture. Okay, you ready for like a DEI job or something? Thank you to everyone who took the time to teach me something over the last 7 years. I'm hopeful that Tesla can get back on its feet soon. What am I not going to miss? Definitely not the coffee. Okay. Serious question. How do you know it negatively impacted morale? Dog lover, fan of renewable energy, investor. I always worry that that's like the top of the market when people put investor in their bio. It's in the text. The recent layoffs that are rocking the company and its morale have thrown the harmony out of balance. You give the impression of having an anti-Tesla bias. No, I'm pro-Tesla, but I don't agree with some of Elon's decisions. I mean, good for you, Troy. Dude, the amount of shit this guy gets is sad. Are you pro-Tesla? Yes, I'm pro-Tesla. Why are you posting this? Because it's Tesla-related news and people should know about. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, Sawyer will only post the good things about Tesla, I find. Or maybe that's not fully true, but I do find that a lot. But that's how you get Tesla popularity, is you only talk about the good things. This is sad. I mean, let's just try to objectively think about it. The number of people leaving Tesla is just sad. You know, I know some people are like, oh, well, Elon's back in charge and he's cleaning house. Well, where the hell was he? You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like you're the captain of the Titanic, you know, and you got this big, beautiful ship and everybody's so proud of you and you're sleeping. You're sleeping on the job. You're in the birds. You're not even in the bird's nest. You're down, you know, in first class playing with some of the guests. Okay, that could sound wrong. Never mind. You're being entertained with some of the guests, and you're not paying attention. You're busy doing other crap, and then all of a sudden you go back to the bridge and you're like, "What the hell's going on here?" It's not a good look, and it is sad. It's such a great company, but there's definitely some problems going on. Anyway, so. Okay. What's going on here? Queues. Let's see here. Q's 11 bips. You've got 61.3 on the BT sizzle. A lot of people very emotional about Tesla. Yeah. Well, people get married to a stock. Yeah, it's very dangerous. That's how to lose money. You got to be fact-driven. ARM, Affirm, Affirmadoozles, Enphase, Nvidia. This is a boring market open so far. And where's the entertainment? I guess there's some on Roblox, and I don't mean the games. I mean the stock. AMC's down about 4.7. Well, because they're running out of cash. Out of cash. Ugh. It's not good. Sunrun? How did Sunrun do? You just have to. I don't like Sunrun. Oh, they're up 4%. Well, good for them. Doesn't change my opinion. 5 minutes to go for the opening bell. Yesterday, Trump says he liked crypto. Well, probably because he's mad at JPOW. Let me see. Wait, did Trump mention something about Joe Biden? Joe Biden's like is a hilarious meme coin. Joe Biden. Let's see here. Joe, let me get it on Coin Market Cap. Biden. It's the new Pepe. Oh, okay. It's not at all-time highs, but here it is. Joe Biden. So what did he say? That's an interesting photo they have here. I don't like that investment, said of the token mocking its rival Joe Biden. Trump also said he's open to cryptocurrency donations. Okay. Joe Biden, Joe Crypto, referring to a misspelling of Joe Biden's name, surged as much as 25% after President Donald Trump responded to a fan's question about it. Well, I don't like that investment, Trump said in an impromptu audience Q&A after an attendee described Biden to him and said it had a $240 million market cap. Can we donate using crypto? I'll make sure you can. That's interesting. That's it? So a fan asked about it, and Trump said, I don't like it, and it went up 25%? Seems about right. Seems about right.
Inflation is over there. They are rolling prices back. But most importantly, Dave, non-foods increased mid-single digit. That's not unusual. Everybody knows they're great for food. Sundries up mid-single digit. But how about this? For the first time in several years, toys did well. Now, toys have been an area, really kind of a black hole. Now, we know Mattel's really kind of flattening, but Hasbro's making a comeback here. So it might be a good read-through to Hasbro. But if you look at Costco, this company bottomed around 717. It's been straight up ever since then. Possibility of well, it's always possibility of a membership increase, but they are what the Fed needs more than anything else in the world. A company that just says, that goes to suppliers and says, no, we're not taking that price. You're lowering your price. So I salute Costco, great numbers.
And you still feel comfortable with the stock, even up, look at that, I mean, 57% over the last year.
I feel very comfortable.
That's quite a move.
I know the multiple's very high,
yes,
but I think they offer such a bargain. By the way, this gold thing that they've done was just brilliant. You know, you buy gold.
The multiple is so high, and I don't think the gold thing actually makes them any money, but it does potentially get them more subscribers.
Insta reporting after the bell last night.
Yes, I think Costco is overvalued, but oh well.
Guide Q2 above, as I see.
They are being very good at new partnerships. I mean, by the way, they have a Kroger deal. They have a CPG, consumer packaged goods deal that is very good. They did an excellent job.
They just did that deal with Uber that we were talking about earlier in the week.
That was very important for their earnings. They're hustlers. I didn't. Now, there's an upside surprise to me. They are hustlers, and I did not see that they would put together such a great quarter because I had felt that they were a little static. That was quite wrong. The numbers there are very good.
Yesterday was a tough day for the e-commerce ETFs, given Shop and Trip were really some...
Right. Now, Trip was so disappointing because they put themselves up for sale and nobody came, and that's got to be a real bummer. I noticed that we got an upgrade for Shop. I mean, a couple. Look, Shopify, there was a call. Now, Harley did not, when I tried to press him with a 0.5 gross margin decline, he did not really, wasn't, let's say, as definitive as on the call, where they said it's lower margin business that's hurting us. But Max Levchin, who is a partner, a firm, once he gets into the transaction continues.
Seems right. Shopify gets upgraded over at JMP. Let's get the opening bell and the CNBC Real-Time Exchange and the big board. It's the Children's Tumor Foundation and the NASDAQ Global Infrastructure Company.
All right, boys and girls, it's time to go to work. There goes Airbnb trying to push over 147.25. Breaks out of that. Guys, that'll be interesting. We've got BT Sizzle trying to move. It's not really going anywhere. 61.3, not a great spot. Q is trying to find a direction to go at 16 bips to start the day. Trade desk, green candle. Affirm tries to go a little green after its crazy drop yesterday. N-phase can't stay around 113. Danger, danger. No lines close. 907 for NVIDIA. Okay. Not a great place here for Tesla. Probably it might end up dropping right back to 174. But this is too tight of a range for me. I don't want to play it between a $1.40 here, because then what happens is people pre-buy it here and pre-sell it here. It's way too tight of a trading range for me for Tesla today. We'd really have to break out or fall through a line here, but I don't know if you'll have enough momentum to go in either direction. Let's go Amazon. Honestly, Amazon to me, oh, I want more of it. But then again, you have to be careful. They make money on the consumer now. They really, I think they're going to be moving into the staples category from the discretionary category, and you've got the AI data center tailwind, which I do think will get commoditized. But I like Amazon in a portfolio. I never used to, and so as soon as they went profitable on their merchandise store, that got me really excited. That's called Amazon.com, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, Q's only 8 bips. Yeah, Robinhood can't keep it up. ARM can't stay over 100. What's Roblox up to? Let's see. I need a play, baby. Roblox is rising. Look at that bounce off that line right there. That's the play right there. I want to see if in the first 15 minutes I could get a revisit to 26.59 so I could go calls on this baby. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but could be interesting. So I'm going to watch the Roblox-izzles. Try to get it back to 35 bucks. ARM. I don't really want to go into it now, though. I always get nervous the first minutes of trade. Because, look, you start getting a bleed on the Qs here, which we've already bled like 7 bips. Maybe it'll start running again. But BTC is my bad omen. And, Roblox keeps pushing. Wait. Nope, never mind. Here come the red candlesticks. Come on, baby. All the way down. Just go down to 26.59. Then call me. And then I will call you. See? Anyway, yeah, Q's about to go red as the BT sizzle forecast. Yeah, Airbnb gets magnetoed right back to 147. That's the point of the lines. Facebook is down about 40 bips. Microsoft, dude, they are never going to be able to break 420, are they? It seems like they just keep getting rejected at 420. Reject, reject, reject. I reject you. Come on, NVIDIA. If NVIDIA goes red today with the Qs, we're going to 985. And if we break 985, we're going to 950. Then I'll put my money on it. It's like the Ben Malas coming through. All right, here we go. Here's the 174 line. Is it going to hold it? Is it going to hold it? Or are we going to get the bounce? Or are we going to fall through it? Because if you fall through it, it could be another negative 3% day today. Oh, it's starting. It's just the minute. It's just the minute candlestick. You really got to wait for the 5-minute candlestick to be sure. But it's... let's see what the other ones are doing. BTC's omen continues to be bad. The Q's trying to come up again a little bit. Roblox-izzles. I can't really pull it down where I want it to be. This is going to go to 92 bucks is my guess. Do I have a line there? No, I have a line at 98, but 92 is where we topped out just a few days ago. So, wouldn't be surprised to revisit that. I'm actually surprised that the ARM pump, well, maybe, like, fundamentally, I really like ARM. But, you are seeing some pessimism around AI. I was pessimistic about a month ago, then I started getting these earnings, and I'm like, no, they're actually still pretty damn good. Now, can I really go long ARM? Not really. I think there's still too much volatility risk in that one. I'd rather pick some of the other AI names, but Mostly because of that SoftBank ownership. Uh-oh, Tesla. So, we shall see. Yeah, you're not getting enough momentum here to actually really get you up. And you're going to go negative on the Qs. That's not good. BTC is screaming down. Let's see what happens. Okay. What's actually rising today? So, rising today is Zim. Ooh, Zim. Then you've got Robinhood. Yeah. What a great way to pump gold subscribers, pitching the gold card, and like I don't think anybody's actually really gotten it yet. Shrewd. 8% now. People are chasing the hood. Trade Desk up 4%. Celsius 4%. Open Door should be closed door 3.2%. How's Carvana? Still think that company's a scam. My opinion. I want to just like short the crap out of this company. But then again, you know, you could try that on like I guess if I had to pick between Costco and Carvana, I think has substantially more rapid downside because all it's going to take is one bad report and that sucker's down like 50%. Costco, the downside is limited, even though it's so overvalued, just because everybody buys the stock. So, ooh, Qs
lost the lead.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go back down to 438. That's where we were yesterday. Not like really moving anywhere. How about Wing? Wingstop. Now that company sucks, but the stock keeps going up. I hate this one. Oh well. Probably a Chipotle sympathizer. Okay. All right. Still down over here on the Qs. And yep, Roblox. Come on, baby. Come on. The purple line's right there. You're moving in the right direction. Airbnb down about 7%. It's kind of sitting at the line. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, Reddit gives up 4.5%. And they actually had pretty good earnings there. Palantir drops another 1.5%. Another one. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what happens. So, ooh, Robinhood just red candlestick. All right. Now what? So we talked Joe Biden. Let's see what news there is. I need news. This is boring. Like, you know when Donald Trump responding to a question about Joe Biden is news. It must not be a lot of news. Must be a slow day. Just saying. Wall Street validates Fed bets. I don't care. World interest rate probability. Now it's at 1.81 for rate cuts at the end of the year. What else? Magnificent Seven insiders sell stocks for the first time in years. Yeah, saw that. Let's see. What else? I don't know. Robinhood. What the hell? That's just like, you know, sometimes you have to remember, you have this environment of people doing a lot of buying in the pre-market or post-market. And then the institutions come in and just poop on that. So, I don't know if that's what's going on here. But I do know that the Qs are falling down. The Bitcoin omen continues. And this really sets up for, I mean, it's gonna be a little tough to pull calls in this sort of environment when Bitcoin's just telling you we are going down, and the Qs are following its lead. So is Robinhood. I know Roblox is really stabilizing in this range here, which isn't great for playing options. You can't get a consolidation this early. I need more momentum. That's not going to work. Sometimes you play a trade because you think you see a momentum, and if the momentum dies, you have to get out. Like I'll show you yesterday. So we did this yesterday, okay? We did this live. So like this is not hindsight. You could literally watch me talk about this live in the course member live stream yesterday. If you join the courses, you get access to all the course member lives going all the way back to like 2018 or something. So this was our trade yesterday, okay? You want to see it? So yesterday, we're trading, we were getting positive signals on BTC and the Qs. The market was started rallying at the beginning of the day. And I look at Enphase, and I'm like, okay, we're trading under the 113 line. That's great. So this was Enphase. Okay, yeah, I need to stay on the 1 minute. So we're trading under the 113 line, which is fantastic. That's all I cared about yesterday was that 113.39 line. And so I see us get rejected here, and then I start going for buys. Right here, and I'm like, I think we're going to break out. I think we're going to break out. I go for buys. So I put about $14,000 on a bet that we're going to have a breakout. We get a breakout, and I'm like, I really want to hold this. Like, I think we could break out and push to 118. But then I started seeing this. Sideways consolidation. And I'm like, the momentum is lagging. At the same time, Nvidia tops out, the Qs top out, BTC tops out, and I'm like, no, sell. And I take my profits. So, you know, whatever, made, you know, $3,700 on 14 or whatever. Great, took my profits. If I didn't fat finger, it would have been more like an $8,000 profit day, which would have been great. Whatever, I was still up, so it's fine. It was up enough to cover my fat finger. Okay, mind you, we're like live trading this in the course member live yesterday. I close my position, and I'm like, after you get a consolidation like this, it can go up or it could go down. But there's not enough momentum for the bet that I made to keep going. So sure enough, and this happens live, after I close, it goes up more. And then it's like, which is fine, because you have a 50-50 shot of that. But watch what happens afterwards. The TA was right. Bleed, 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 bleed. Can't get above 113 anymore. Theta decay on the option would have killed you. And then if you held it, you would have gotten killed even more as you're getting killed today. So that was a big red like flag. We traded that live yesterday. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you go to meetkevin.com and you join those. Oh, look at that. What a surprise. What did I say? If we break 895, it's bad. You could be going to 850 again here. I don't know if you'll go to 850 today. Probably not enough catalyst to go to 850 today. But I think there's a good chance you could go to 850 within the next week over here with that kind of read. That's no bueno. So let's 895 is a level though, so it might go back up to 895. So I'm gonna watch it. I don't even have a line drawn for that. Oh wow, look at the Qs. They dumped right back to my line, perfectly to my line. We were just over here. I'm like, I think it's gonna go back to the 438 line. There it is. Oh wow. Just during that explanation, Hood gave up. Wait, that means Roblox might be nope. Roblox nope. I can't play that. Too consolidated. But the Bitcoin Omen works again. The Bitcoin Omen. If you're not watching the Bitcoin Omen when you're trading, you're getting screwed. Somebody says, yeah, coupon code expires this Friday. Nah. It's actually the 15th is when the next coupon will expire. That's CPI day. So you got a few days. But, you know, earlier you get in, the more content you get to be a part of. So, all right. Robinhood, 3%. This is very interesting. Right on my line on the Qs. So now the question is, what direction do we go? I don't know, Bitcoin Omen. You tell me. Bitcoin Omen says, it doesn't know yet. Okay. 2. That's bad. Not good. Where's the movement today? That's not good either. I don't like being under 174 on Tesla here. Bad line to be under. So Zim, Celsius, Affirm, Robinhood. These guys stay green. Roblox smash, not good. How's ARK been doing? Arkadoozles. Arkadoozles. Day chart. Oh! It also plays the lines. 52. I don't even remember drawing that line. It's not as perfect as you'd think, this line, but it's good enough. Good enough. That's really interesting. Okay. Cost of a co. Yeah, nope. Nope. The Bitcoin omen keeps going. Down. Short. Puts. I buy puts. The market go to trash today. We are going to break the line. You are not holding the line. What are you doing? Oh, man. First 15 minutes of trading are always nuts. Straight down. Everything. Except for Costco. But that's just to spite me. Oh, it does not go back to 895. Actually, instead, just breaks 890 on NVIDIA. It's going back to 850, boys and girls. Who reports today? Who could save the day? Can anyone save the day? Alibaba announced their own AI that beats GPT-4 right next to Dung Schlung, who says, man, you are effing cringe. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Alibaba announces their own AI that beats GPT-4. Let's see. Alibaba AI. Alibaba. Ooh. Dow slips for first time in 7 days as fresh earnings dampen sentiment. Who reports today? Sun Life, Telus, blah, 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 Warner Brothers. Earnings today are boring. Alibaba Cloud on Thursday says its large language model has seen more than 90,000 deployments in companies across the industry. Alibaba Cloud, remarkable advancements in reasoning, code comprehension, textual understanding, fares better than GPT-4 in capabilities, but worse in reasoning and math. I feel like they're talking about like a human. Oh yeah, they're good at reading, but they're bad at math. Let's see how the Baba's doing. Baba. Baba's up 71 bips today. Kevin, please share the coffee brand. You're asking me to share the coffee brand because you know what it is. You know what the coffee brand is, and you're trying to make me look like a fool. Everybody knows what this coffee brand is. And I hate it. Except I drink it every day. Damn Costco. Ugh. So anyway, dude, Robinhood, oh my gosh, it's giving up all the fun. Why? Let me see what their valuation is. I mean, they just went profitable. How many cups of coffee do you drink? Yes. You know, that's kind of like Mikey yesterday. Mikey yesterday, you know, we were talking about Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett in the post-close live stream. And he's like, Kevin, your favorite investor is like Warren Buffett, right? I'm like, yeah, Warren Buffett's great. Love Warren Buffett. He's like, you know who my favorite underground investor is? I don't know. Who's that, Mikey? Charlie Munger. Anyway, can't really run a valuation on Robinhood because, well, you know, it's barely profitable. But it's probably, I mean, if I annualize this quarter, which I don't think I should, but if I annualize this quarter, I'm probably trading for times 4, probably trading for about 27 times. Yeah. But that's annualizing this quarter. And I don't know what their growth is going to be like. I mean, that's the other big question. Their forecasts aren't. Francesca just took it to the next level. That joke kills. Oh, stop. Where are we, Boeing? Oh, Okay, stop. Now we're feeding into the cringe. Damn it. Oh, it's bleeding out. Come on, baby. 26.59. 26.59. Ugh. Ay. Okay. Jeez. More coffee. Hey! Look at that. BTC wants to rebound. Okay. Goes. Bump it. Is it gonna pop above my line here? What can we buy calls on? Too soon for Roblox? Probably. Costco keeps going. Qs are going up. BTC's going up. Trade Desk's not. ARM? No. Ooh, don't like that pattern. Where's Nvidia? Enphase? Tough. Ooh, a little green candlestick there on Nvidia. I don't know. Probably get Tesla back to 174. Huh. Ooh, Amazon. What happened there? That's weird. Etsy. Wow, after that earnings call? Okay. Whatever. Doesn't make sense sometimes. Doesn't have to. Yeah, Enphase down 3%. So all the spark lines, mostly red over here. Western Digital trying to U-turn a little bit. Roblox, not yet. Still down 23.5. And Affirm's really what's pushing it here. All right. Let's listen in to the Doomers for a moment. And then we're going to do the delicious music.
Business. And the other big thing that we're kind of watching for with Warner is this pending NBA deal negotiation. So they currently have a deal with the NBA. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to renew it, but they might lose it out to NBC. And that, again, kind of puts their TV network business in peril.
Yeah, that could be a flesh wound. Geeta, we'll track that story. Geeta Raghunathan there. Some sector price action for you before we go. Abby is with me side by side.
Yes, in fact, let's take a look at the sectors. We have the S&P 500 up slightly right now, up about 0.1%, but it is a broad-based gain as small as it may be. Now, to the downside, on the other hand, we have some laggards.
I don't see this as a broad-based gaining day.
And the other three sectors that are lower also by very small amounts. To the upside, we have real estate, energy, healthcare, consumer staples. That real estate really doing quite well, up 1.5% on the morning. This as yields are a bit mixed, so it's gives a little...
Real estate's done really well as a sector, mind you. Like REITs and stuff. Pretty good sector.
On pace for a 7th up day in a row, the longest winning streak just since April 25th. And that's because this stock or this sector over the last 4 weeks higher. This is the first 4-week winning streak for the utilities index, Manus, going all the way back to 2022. Now, some see this as a...
That could have been a false bounce. Look at that. The BTC's already going back down. And you've got the Qs that are starting to form that down again. Robinhood is literally about to go negative. That's insane. They were up like 8% in the pre-market, and they're literally about to go negative. Oh, wow. Yeah, Roblox consolidating. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. Tough directions here. It's always the, ooh, ARM wants to pop a little bit out of nowhere there. Trade Desk's about to go negative? Man, what a day. This is like bizarro land. Nvidia's trying to pop. That seems like dramatic, but it's still at 889. There, oh, Tesla right back to the 174, like we said. All right. Well, if you're in the Stocks and Psych group, I'll send an alert for whatever I decide to trade today. Got my eye on a few different options here, literally. And, yeah, whatever you do trade today, good luck. Let's push the button! Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is neither personalized financial advice nor real estate advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show should not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purpose of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services which we may benefit from. I personally operate and actively manage ETF and hold long positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuers other than HouseHack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. Yeah, buddy. All right, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the course member live stream after I make another cup of coffee. Can you spell cuppa? C-U-P-P-A-H? Something like that? Anyway, that BTC omen keeps going. All right, folks. We will see you soon. Goodbye.